Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. It is April 7th, and April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. So I have been trying to increase my content to talk about and bring awareness to this disease that is near and dear to my heart. So why Parkinson's for Michelle? Because my grandpa had it. My grandpa was my person. We had a very special relationship, and a lot of times I wanted him before I even wanted my mom or my dad. And so I don't remember when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. It seemed like he had it, gosh, I was at least 10. I'm not really sure. But anyway, my family's from a rural community, and my grandpa was basically a contractor. He built houses, and he had a backhoe, so he dug septic systems or holes for septic systems and things like that. So he also had a wood burning stove, so he always cut his own wood. He was very in tune with nature and very muscular, old-fashioned type of handy. He was also a farmer. So did I grow up in a barn? You bet I did. If I leave your door open, I'm sorry, it comes natural. Anyway, so this disease is special to me because I watched my grandpa suffer. And we did not have any support, my family, when it came to Parkinson's disease. His doctor was horrible, later got arrested and lost his medical license for giving opioids out with invalid prescriptions, but yet didn't prescribe my grandfather anything to help him whatsoever. So anyway, he had a horrible doctor and refused to change. But a lot of his symptoms that he complained about, we thought were related to something else. And so that's what I've found. And the story that I hear over and over again is that the diagnosis took so long because the symptoms could be related to something else happening in that person's life at that time. Like easily explained off, and that kind of delayed the diagnosis. And then of course, delaying the diagnosis delays getting appropriate treatment or even helpful treatment that will help slow the symptom progression or reduce the symptoms and so on and so forth. So, you know, my grandfather complained a lot about not being able to chew his food. Well, he had the same dentures that he had since he was 19 years old. So we thought it was just that he needed new dentures and he refused to get them. No, he had trouble chewing because he had Parkinson's. He didn't just have trouble chewing, he had trouble swallowing, for sure. And I look back on it now and I can see that very plainly. Where I was just starting grad school, and he actually passed away 2 months before I graduated grad school. So, you know, I didn't know the things that I know now. He would complain about not being able to eat a lot, which is a symptom of dysphagia and having trouble swallowing. But he also complained about constipation all the time. And my mother used to kind of, make fun of, but not really, like, she used to tease him, I guess would be a better word, and, you know, talk about how little he ate, and of course he couldn't poop. Well, now I understand that that was a sign of Parkinson's. You know, not only, he definitely had the resting tremor, definitely had the shuffled gait. He wound up using a wheelchair, but, you know, he talked about how difficult it was to get out of a chair and how he should have had a knee operation when he was younger, and he should have, but he didn't because he was afraid. And so then that was something that he regretted for a long time, but that's also a symptom of Parkinson's. So, whoops, sorry about that. So, you know, that's why this disease is I'm very passionate about it, because I watched my grandfather suffer and I look back on it now and think, oh my goodness, we did not have enough information. He could have lived such a better life. And so I feel inspired and like it is my job to give people this information And yes, I recognize I am a speech language pathologist. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not an occupational therapist. I'm definitely not a mental health therapist. But I do know I'm not a movement disorder specialist. I'm not a clinical psychologist, none of that. But I do know a lot about this disease, and I learned it because I wanted to understand what was happening to my grandfather, simply because he was my favorite person. And so I would like to share this information with all of you because I have it, and what good is it locked all up in here? Nothing. I could spread good out into the world and make some people's lives a little bit better, where I didn't get to do that for my grandfather. Although, I mean, I was in his life, so just kidding, but not. But anyway, his life was good. He lived until he was almost 91 years old. And so he had a very long and good life and was very loved, if by no one else, by me, but he was well loved by many people. So anyway, that concludes this very long video that I will eventually post. If you find my content helpful for either yourself or maybe your loved one or maybe your neighbor or a person just that you know, please comment, please like it, please subscribe, or follow, my various social media accounts. I'm working to do better at this. This is not natural. I'm a Gen Xer and it feels weird. I don't like having my phone in front of me all the time. I don't like being the person with a selfie stick like I have right now, sitting in my car in the middle of a parking lot talking to a camera. But this is the most efficient way for me to be able to share this information. So if you would like me to continue to share this information, give my pages a little bit of interaction. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so it's Monday. I hope you have a great week. Happy Parkinson's Awareness Month, and I look forward to seeing you at the Pancakes for Parkinson event this weekend on Saturday. It starts at 9:30 and goes until I think 2 at Vaulted Oak Brewing. So I'll see you there. Have a great week. Catch you next time.